It's Retro Podcasts with your host, Retro Lion. We talk music, entertainment, films, and more. And now, here he is, live, Retro Lion.
Welcome back to Retro Podcast. I am the host, Ben Sina, also the Retro Lion. And today we have Riley Griffiths from the J.J. Abrams film Super 8. It's great to see you, Riley. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Great to see you as well.
And how has your summer been?
It's been good, man. It's been good. It's not been too hot. I don't know where are you based out of?
Ohio.
Yeah, so it's not been too hot so far, so no complaints on that behalf, but yeah, it's been a good summer. How about you?
It's been a blast. I got to go to Vegas last month. Feels like a week ago, but no, it was last month. Went to Vegas last month because I got invited to be in someone's entourage. I got to be in Scott Fullerton's entourage.
Oh, nice.
It was a blast. We had a great time.
Did you get a chance to see the Sphere yet?
We were originally supposed to go to the Sphere, but that was canceled at the last minute. So instead we went to see a show called The Rouge, and when I heard the name Rouge, I thought it was a mini version of Moulin Rouge. But
yeah.
Of course, it wasn't what I thought it was, and I was very uncomfortable by the whole thing. Yeah, because it wasn't just me. I mean, there were other folks in the entourage, but there was me and there was this comedian named Johnny. I'm sorry, I can't remember his last name, but he's now become a dear friend of mine. We thought it was going to be like a mini play of Moulin Rouge, but realized no, it wasn't. And we were both very uncomfortable by the whole thing.
Well, I actually grew up near Vegas, so I saw a lot of things in Vegas driving through as a kid that I was like, holy.
We did find some aliens though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we did find some aliens. But what were some of your memories?
Well, I actually grew up in a small town in southern Utah. And so whenever I would do auditions when I was younger, I would drive through Vegas. So I always remember driving through Vegas at like 8:30 in the morning, and then getting to LA, and then doing the audition and then packing up and going home the next day. So yeah, those drives were super fun as a kid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We stayed at two places. We stayed at Treasure Island the first night, and then the New York the second night. The New York is my favorite hotel, but I just remember my friend was worried that I was traumatized by the Rouge, but I was like, I mean, when I first saw it, yes, but I'm not gonna let it haunt me as much as it should. But
yeah,
like I said, I originally thought it was a mini version of Moulin Rouge, but then realized no, it wasn't, and was going to get unexpectedly flashed. It was very uncomfortable. It's like, put your clothes on. What's wrong with you? It's like Bernie Mac from Bad Santa. Did you ever watch the movie Bad Santa?
it's been a while.
Okay, so there's a scene in the movie Bad Santa where Bernie Mac catches this guy for shoplifting, and he tells him to get out of the store, and he's like, get Pepper wants him, and then he's wearing baggy pants, of course, and he's like, I pull your pants up, what's wrong with you? That's not. I was vibing Bernie Mac, and in my brain I was having Bernie Mac vibes. I was like, put some clothes on, what's wrong with you?
That's funny.
Yeah. So you did a film. So your co-star Joel McKinnon Miller was on the podcast last week, and you both did a movie called Super 8 with J.J. Abrams. What was your experience getting to work on that movie?
It was awesome, man. I had I'd been doing that was my first professional acting on screen. So I'd been doing Shakespeare when I was younger. And then I remember it's funny because I'd just seen The Dark Knight recently, and this memory popped back up. But I'd done Shakespeare when I was younger. And then I remember like after one of the plays, so I did professional Shakespeare when I was in like third grade, and that was super cool. I loved swords and all of that type of stuff. Like was very into that sort of time period. And then I remember seeing The Dark Knight at one of my friends' houses, and I was like, went home that night, and I was like, Mom, I don't want to do Shakespeare anymore. And then I just kind of tried to get an agent and do all of that. And so doing Super 8 was just amazing. Like being able to see all of the special effects, see all of the just the sets and how detailed they were was like just crazy as a kid. It was awesome.
Nice. And are you, because you don't act anymore, so what exactly are you doing nowadays?
I am writing right now. So I took off acting when let's see. I took off acting when I was I think 13 or 14, and I played high school football. I got a scholarship from high school football to play in college, so I played at Montana State, and I went to film school there. And then during I think my last like probably starting my junior year, I started writing a script. Started writing a script there, and then was planning to move to LA, moved to LA, and then was still auditioning and everything, but COVID kind of threw a wrench into all of that, and so writing just naturally took up a lot more of my time, and have been developing that script with a production company since I think for about a year and a half thus far. And so I do hope to get back into acting in the future, but right now writing is just kind of what's taking most of my thoughts.
Well understood. Yeah, I've been working on a family-friendly movie since, well, the idea came up in 2019, but then I started writing a script when we were in the pandemic, and been trying to get it. And there's been some battles between back and forth, just trying to find the right story and the right script. And now it's come to the point where we finally found the right story, and just trying to get it out there and see who's interested in making it.
Yeah, for sure, man. And I think COVID was it was a really it's interesting to see now. Writing is a lot, finding the time to write and making that, it has to be, it's like it's different now than it was in COVID, because life started back up again, you know.
Yes.
And it's makes sitting down at the blank page a little bit more difficult.
And it's more about trying to find, when it comes to writing, it's you got to start with what you know.
Oh yeah, for sure, definitely.
Even if it's fiction, you have to start with what you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if I'm allowed to ask, what is the story that you're working on going to be about?
So let me think about how much I can talk about it right now. It's a drama. It's a sports drama.
Nice.
So I think I drew off a lot of my time playing college football and all of that type of stuff. And so just working through that has been interesting to try to find a new wrinkle in that genre.
Mm-hmm. I really like the sound of that. And since it's a drama, is this idea going to be set for, is it going to be family friendly, or is it going to be set for the adult level?
I have no idea at this point. I mean, I've written it both ways. I've gone. I think the last thing we did was we did a Zoom with actors, got to read through the whole script over Zoom and had a full read through. And that was just a crazy experience, to see things that had been mainly going on in my head actually come to fruition, and then, see what plays and see what doesn't play, and then you have a mini panic attack or something because something doesn't read the way that you thought it would read or whatever. But I'm super blessed in that regard to still be friends with a ton of actors, ton of the kids from Super 8 also, that I can run scenes with, and that's been tremendously helpful just to see what translates from idea to actual practicality.
Nice. And when it comes time, once this project is fully ready, are you thinking about returning? Like, are you thinking about playing a character in the project, or getting one of your friends from Super 8 to play characters in the project if they're interested?
Yeah, potentially. Those guys were some of the first guys that actually read the script. So, and actually my buddy Ryan, who played Carrie in Super 8, he was in on the read through and everything. So I don't know. I think it's too early to say right now. I don't. That's a whole nother step of the journey that I haven't gone down yet to see how the casting process works and all of that stuff. But I think, um, in a best case scenario, I would love to try to find a spot for myself or some of my friends. I think it like being able to work with your friends is one of the best things that you can do. So
Yes.
yeah, that would be amazing.
I definitely think it's a good thing having both friends and people that you're meeting. Usually it's people they know, people you know, because if it's especially when you have friends in the industry, it really helps a lot more, because most of the so far the actors that I have for my project and crew members I'm mostly friends with. Some
Mhm.
know, some know, but most of them I'm friends with. And
Yeah, yeah. Um, and I think like if you acted at an early age, there's always at least some familiarity there. You know what I mean?
oh yes, yeah, uh, it'll just have to run back in the process again.
Yeah, dust some cobwebs off,
Yeah,
stretch.
yeah, a bit like in Space Jam 1, where Michael Jordan's already a baseball player and he's been asked to play basketball. He's just like, yeah, let's see if I remember this, and boom, he's playing basketball.
Yeah, for sure.
And for folks that want to go into writing, what is the best advice you would pass on to them?
Watch movies. Watch a lot of movies. Um, because I think that's something that I didn't fully grasp. I would say I think I started writing before I had really dove into like the history of film, of cinema, and trying to see films that I wouldn't have been exposed to like on a natural basis, having to seek out things. I think watching like at least going through film school or reading books, it can show you, it can only show you so much, and then you have to see how those rules and how those things are put into practice, and what's been put into practice, and what's been said, and the cliche of kind of learning through osmosis. But by far the most beneficial thing for me has been to just watch as many movies as I can. Like there's this theater in LA that I've started going to a lot. It's called the New Beverly, and everything they show is on film, but it's all is so it's mainly movies from I think there's been a few that have dipped into like 2012, but it's mainly films and from before 2012. So getting the chance to be able to see those films on the big screen has just been awesome.
Nice. And speaking of films on the big screen, have you seen Deadpool and Wolverine yet?
I have, yes.
It's hilarious. I saw it twice.
Yeah, it's a great ride. It's a great ride. It's definitely fast paced. You know, I think I'd have to see it a few more times to catch all the jokes.
Same. I got all the jokes the first time, and spoiler alert, for those who haven't seen it, you're gonna want to mute the volume. But the first time I saw it, it was me, my dad, my brother, and my grandpa, and in the scene where Deadpool and Wolverine fight in the van, the Honda van, and Wolverine slams Deadpool at the radio, and "This is the greatest show" comes on. My brother burst out laughing, and I have never seen him laugh that hard in my life.
Really?
So, man, it was hilarious, but I didn't think he was gonna find it that hilarious.
Yeah, yeah, it was great, and it was a great. I went on opening night, so it was great to see the theater packed and all that stuff.
the, the team up we've been waiting for.
Absolutely.
And for them, it was a reunion because there were other past Marvel characters in the film as well. And what I could definitely see happening with your movie when you get it off the ground is that this is a Super 8 reunion.
Potentially, yeah, that would be awesome. We actually we kind of did something like that. I think it was my senior year of college. We actually well, we had a Zoom, I think we had a Zoom last year. I think when did it come out? 2011, so 2021. So oh, Jesus, 3 years ago. We did a Zoom for the 10-year anniversary, and that was crazy. I think that was the first time we were all like we had all hung out. It was the first time we were all together again, so that was wild. To just see how everything just kind of clicked back, and you know, the same relationships, kind of dynamics from when you were 12 were still there, you know, 10 years later. That's just, it's wild to see.
Mm-hmm. When we all go our separate ways, we all know when we come back to something from several years ago, we still have that energy inside of us.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And we are coming down to the end of the interview, and we have two famous questions.
Okay, cool.
The first one, my mother wants to know, do you happen to have a favorite board game?
A favorite board game? Yeah, it's got to be Clue. It's got to be Clue.
Good choice.
Yeah, I'm definitely a sucker for the murder mysteries, you know, so that's always a great time. I actually watched I can't remember what year it was from, but the Clue movie, and
great movie.
Yeah, it's super fun. Super fun.
There's like 3 different endings. And you're trying to figure, because when it came out in different theaters, they would show different endings. But then when they released it on DVD and VHS, they put all 3 endings at the end of the movie. So it's like an
alternate really? Universe. I didn't know that.
It was like an alternate universe. This is what happened when, this is happened in another universe, and then this one happened.
I did not know that. That's crazy.
But yeah, they ever since it came to DVD, they've put all 3 endings at the very end.
Oh, that's awesome. So I wonder why they did that. They must have done it so that nobody knew what they were going to get at the theater, no spoilers, or what? What do you think?
I guess so.
Yeah, that's super cool.
But I love murder mysteries. They're great. Have you seen the Hulu Plus, not Hulu Plus, Hulu show Only Murders in the Building?
I have not yet.
You have to watch it. Very well.
Really? It's good? It's good?
Very funny too.
Okay, cool. I will write it down. What was that? What did you say it was again?
Only Murders in the Building.
Okay, cool.
The very last question, since this is a retro show, do you happen to have a favorite retro product?
Let me think. I mean, I don't know. It's gonna let me see on my shelf here. I do have some retro products. I'm gonna go with those. I can't remember exactly what they're called. You remember those kind of viewfinders that you put the like circular paper disc that had like little squares of film in them, and you hold them up to and you click them on the side. Whatever those are called. I've had one of those on my shelf forever. So I'm gonna have to go with that as opposed to other than that, maybe I don't know if film is retro yet, but film, if either
Film
one of
is
those.
definitely retro.
Yeah.
Yeah. And speaking of those retro devices, did Charles have one? Your character Charles in Super 8?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. I have a couple props still. Like my younger brother was in the movie also. And he played my younger brother in the movie, but there's like this little like quip scene of he gets a mask stuck on his head. And I have that mask, and that's like one of my favorite things that I kept. And then we also got to keep our bikes from the movie also. So that I've had, I think it's in my parents' garage right now, but that's been that was super cool. And, getting to play with all of those kind of retro items, retro toys was way cool. Because I feel like it helped kind of get to know my parents' generation a little bit better, see what they what was cool and what was pop culture-y at the time was awesome.
Nice. And if I'm allowed to ask, how old are you?
I am 27.
Oh, I'm 2 years younger.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Well, Riley, thank you again for joining today's interview, and best of luck with the script.
Thank you, and same to you as well, man.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Spotify and follow us on Instagram. See you next week.